Alright, so in the comments of my Blaze Blue video I uploaded like a little while ago, I was recommended, I was asked what my favorite games of all time are, and it got me thinking. It's actually a really good bonus video to make. Cause yeah, welcome to a bonus video. Now I've got the first episode of Sly 3 recorded already. I just got done doing that not too long ago. But yeah, I was asked to like, I was asked what my favorite games of all time are, and they're like, you know what? That's actually really good. I did for a bonus video, but I also asked if they talk about top 5, top 10, top 20, and they said top 10. And the thing is, this is actually something I have been wanting to do for a while. Like, this is one of those many things I've been wanting to do for a while, but wasn't exactly sure how well it would be received because there might be some controversial picks. So, yeah. Which is why I held off on doing it so long, but this actually gave me. This is actually the perfect time to do it. So, yeah. I'm. You're probably watching this video, but thank you for suggestion. Like, you actually gave me a reason to make this kind of video. So, without further ado, let's get to go. So, a couple things before we actually get to listing my top 10 favorite games of all time. I'm going to try to stick to one game per franchise. Again, emphasis on try. I'm going to break that rule, obviously. So, at a certain point. So, yeah. But, yeah, going to try to stick to it until then. But, there's that. And I got to get a couple, like, honorable mentions out of the way. First honorable mention is the Misadventures of Tron. Like, I've mentioned in the past that this is a rare game. Goes for over $200. They literally just the disc it goes for $200. And to prove it's an authentic disc, yeah, it is an authentic NTSC disc. Complete in box, it goes for like 500. So yeah, it's while it is an extremely rare game, it is available on the PS3 store for $6. But you can also emulate it. So yeah, honestly, if you haven't, it's actually worth a try. It's actually a really fun game. Of course, again, I can't put it in my PS3 because yeah, I've mentioned I have to like take the disc out, take the disc drive out, open it up, remove the disc, put the disc drive together, and put it back in the PS3 in order to like remove a game disc. And considering, again, this is a rare game, I'm not taking that risk because the disc could also get ruined, and I obviously don't want that to happen. Meaning I have to either stick to emulation or buy it on the PlayStation 3 store. But yeah, again, I could just play it through emulation. And another game I want to talk about, like, while it's not on like a game console, I do want to say, I have to say it because it's an elephant in the room. Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm not talking like I play meta decks and prevent my opponent from playing. Like, no, like I let my opponent play as much as I let myself play. Like that kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where all parties involved have fun, get to play, have fun, stuff like that. Not like I'm going to play Cashier and prevent my opponent from playing, or I'm just going to FTK my opponent so they can't do anything. Yeah, I don't play like that. Not that kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah. And if you watch my Master Duel videos, it's a perfect example of that. But yeah. Honestly, I had to mention Yu-Gi-Oh! As well because I absolutely fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, still working on my Live Twin Shadow deck physically, and I've also got the Trap Trick Structure deck for the most part. So honestly, and a huge binder full of cards. So yeah, honestly Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, one of my absolute favorites. So yeah, I had to say that as well. But yeah, honestly, it's time for the list. I also forgot to mention in the honorable mentions Super Mario 64 because, obvious reasons. It's Super Mario 64. How could I not include it? But yeah, I didn't put it on this list because there are other games I like a lot more. While I do love Super Mario 64 to death, and I do come back to it all the time in my personal time, there are, of course, other games I like to play, so without further ado, let's go on to the list. So, on number 10, I don't have, and keep in mind that I don't have a physical copy for all these games, so, yeah, I'm gonna, talk about a game, then include, some footage from the game to, show it off, but, yeah, well, for what's on the list, of course. Whether it be from a video I've uploaded or, exclusive footage for this video, regardless, I'm gonna put some footage of a game on in the video to kind of show off. But coming in number 10 is Puyo Puyo 2. Regardless of the version of Puyo Puyo 2, it's the Puyo Puyo game I play the most. Yes, even over Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, which I'm actually looking at right now. But I'm not. But I'm talking Puyo Puyo 2. More specifically, the Super Famicom version of Puyo Puyo 2. Now, for those who don't know, I'm not a big fan of the Super Nintendo. I don't really care for it. Except for a few games. The Puyo Puyo games are some of those games. But Puyo Puyo 2 is my favorite Puyo game. Because it's what every other Puyo game is built off of, pretty much. And it's the one I play the most. I even play it on the hardest difficulty whenever I play it, because, yeah, why not? But mentioning the Super Nintendo version over, the arcade or the Genesis version, because unlike those versions of the game, the Super Nintendo version actually has cutscenes. Has the cutscenes in the game for when you're about to go against the AI characters. The Genesis version doesn't have those. It's just a picture. It's just the character's sprite and the description of the character. No cutscene or no dialogue or anything. I'm pretty sure the arcade version has that too. But Super Nintendo's got the cutscenes, so it's my preferred version of Puyo Puyo 2. coming in at number 9, got probably our first controversial pick, but number 9 is Sonic Adventure 2. For those who don't know, Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite Sonic game, meaning, yeah. So if I say, like, I don't like the Sega Genesis games or I like Sonic 06, just remember, I like Sonic Adventure 2, so, yeah. Do with that what you will, but, like, Sonic Adventure 2 story is essentially what Super Mario Sunshine did, but actually good and first. Sonic Adventure 2 did it first and way better than Mario Sunshine ever did. Mario Sunshine fucking sucks. It's not a good game. But yeah, gameplay wise, it feels like a Sonic game. Like, it's got some cool speedrun strats. The story's great. And I actually like the treasure hunting stages in Sonic Adventure 2. I actually really like them. I do. Like, the mech stages with Eggman and Tails, I don't really care about those too much, but I like the 2/3 of the game, but I can overlook those levels because the rest of the game kind of, like, makes up for those levels, but yeah, and the soundtrack is really fucking good, especially for a game released in 2001. But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2, number 9 on my list. Well, I have Sonic Adventure 2 footage, but it's not worth showing, so sorry, but I'm not going to show any of Sonic Adventure 2 footage. So yeah, let's move on to number 8, shall we? So coming into the number 8 spot for my 10 favorite games ever is one I play on the channel a lot. And not just on my channel, I play it on my own time as well, a lot. And that's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I don't really need to talk about Xenoverse 2 because obviously, if you watch my videos on the game when I'm playing it, like, you'll understand. It's fun, especially with my 2 buddies, but yeah, I don't really need to explain why Xenoverse 2 is one of my favorite games ever. And one of the games I play, like, a lot. Obviously, while I do play it a lot, there are games on this list I don't play as much, but I love even more. But yeah, honestly, Xenoverse 2 earned a spot on this list.
Wow! Is this a new game? It is! It's sort of like the Tournament of Power. I bet it's all kinds of fun. Oh, yes! Yeah, it does sound like all kinds of fun! Yeah, all kinds of fun! This is fun! It's getting really, really intense! I want to have another Tournament of Power! That'd be fun! I want to see you fight in a tournament too! Wouldn't that be great?
Okay, so for number 7 on the list, I've got it right here. It's Destroy All Humans! Path of the Furon. Like, this is another controversial pick because people like to think that that Big Willy, Path of the Furon, they're not good games, so they're not canon or whatever. Unfortunately, they are, but this one especially, but this is my favorite Destroy All Humans game. And the reason for that is this was the first one that allowed you to use PK as well as use your guns at the same time. The jetpack was so much better. There's a lot more weapons and a lot cooler things as well. And the humor, but most of all, the humor was absolutely top notch. It's full of a lot of like pop culture. I mean, the entire This Are All Humans series is full of pop culture references, but in this one, you could tell it was the 70s. You could tell it's based in the 70s with all the references and everything they make. Especially towards like stuff in later decades as well. Like, it's absolutely hilarious. It's a really good game. It's honestly worth a play. It really is.
Your skills are strong. I offer you my gratitude.
Screw your gratitude, Giganto. Just set up the damn tournament.
Very well. We will keep my word and round up the Kung Fu experts for your tournament. They will be waiting for you.
How do you know your divine master's grand plan will draw the victorious Saxon out?
Oh, he'll be there.
Yes, but he'll be in disguise among the sea of basket hats. Even shows.
No problem. I know just what to say to get his goat. Ain't this fun?
Alright, now we kill more people. Coming in at the number 6 spot and capping off the first half of the list is my favorite Xbox 360 game ever, Bayonetta. This game is absolutely badass. Like, I don't like games like Devil May Cry, and this is essentially just like Devil May Cry, but technically so is God of War, but the story for God of War and everything is really fucking awesome. It's extremely, like, detailed, it's convoluted, it's amazing. But Bayonetta, the humor, and the characters in general are absolutely amazing. Not to mention the soundtrack. The soundtrack is incredible as well. In fact, I was actually just playing this yesterday for a little while. I have never beaten it. I haven't beaten it yet, but it's a good game, but a really fucking hard one. And you know what? That's why I love it. Difficulty is a good thing. It's not like a Kirby game where it's easy as fuck. No, it's actually challenging, and you can't, like, I can't explain it. You have to play it for yourself, but yeah. It is absolutely incredible. I recommend Bayonetta. Okay, so coming in the number 5 spot is another controversial pick. The reason why it's controversial is because of the company itself that mostly because of the company itself that developed, released the game. All the the controversies and everything they've been in, especially even for the past couple months, is actually like Overwatch. Like whether it's Overwatch 1 or 2, like it's essentially just pretty much just the same game. But yeah, a little fun fact about me for those who don't know or were interested. Games like Overwatch and Paladins is actually my favorite genre. Like, I'm not a big fan of first-person shooters too often. Like, I'll play them occasionally. Like, I'll play Overwatch, Paladins, Black Ops 2 even. But otherwise, I'm not a big fan of first-person shooters. But games like Overwatch and Paladins, I absolutely fucking love. It's, even though, you know, while Activision Blizzard has been a bunch of controversies lately and everything, that doesn't, like, affect the game itself. Except, you know, that the fact that they completely scrapped the story mode for Overwatch 2, which, while I'm personally not happy about that, I'm not happy about that either, but, you know what? Overwatch is an online multiplayer game first anyway, so it's like, while I'm not happy about it, like, the base game that's, you know, the center focus of the game to begin with is still playable, so it's, like, it doesn't fall, it's whatever, but yeah, honestly, Overwatch, and Overwatch 2, of course, number 5 on my list. So much fun.
Defeat.
I tried to go in. I tried. I really tried to go in. I just couldn't.
Play of the game.
Wait, what?
Apagando las luces.
So, coming in the number 4 spot is one I play quite often again as well. And it's Antinomy of Common Flowers. Now, do I really need to explain why it's this high on the list? Like, I made an entire, like, almost 2-hour long video on the subject as to why I love the game. So, honestly, if you want to know why I love the game so much, it's in the Antinomy of Common Flowers playlist. Go watch it. I spent a few hours working on it, and yeah, just watch that for the full explanation. But yeah, Antinomy of Common Flowers, really love that game. Now, this is the part where I break my rule, my one per franchise rule, but number 3 spot is honestly the entire God of War series. Now, obviously, I've shown I'm showing God of War 3 because it's the only one I have physically. It was close by, and it's my personal favorite of the God of War series. While I love the entire series, although I can't really say anything for Ragnarok as I haven't played that one yet, and I can't really say anything much about Ascension because I only played out until after the first boss, and that was years ago, so I remember absolutely nothing from Ascension. So aside from those two, I can honestly recommend any of the God of War games, but if I were to choose my favorite, it would be God of War 3. But the another thing is, the 2018 God of War is actually where I got my cat's name from. My cat Atreus. And yeah, I named him Atreus. And whenever I call boy, I go boy, like Kratos does. So yeah. And I mentioned it in my God of War playthroughs. Go watch all of them. They're really fantastic. But it is my absolute favorite franchise of all time. God of War, can never get tired of it. So, yeah. God of War, fantastic franchise in general. Play them if you haven't already. They're really fun.
Your soul is mine.
And then the number 2 spot, I don't have it physically, but I do have it on PS3, is Final Fantasy 1, the original Final Fantasy, but more specifically, the PS1 version of Final Fantasy 1. I've mentioned in the past that it was my favorite game of all time. Of course, it got surpassed by something else, and we're about to get to that, but I love again, I'm not a big fan of RPGs personally, like depending on the RPG, I'll play it. Like Final Fantasy 1, I'll play any day of the week. Pokemon game, the mainline Pokemon games, I'll play any day of the week as well. Disgaea 1, I play that sometime. I'll play that once in a while. Disgaea 2, which I have as well, I need to play that again as well. And Final Fantasy 7, the original, I can play that. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of RPGs, but depending on the game, I'll play an RPG. I'll play it from time to time. But I love the visuals and the sound, music, sound design, everything about the game. It's fucking fantastic. And a little fun fact, you know, my main character Julia in Xenoverse, what I actually used in the footage used for after I said that Xenoverse is one of my favorite games. Like the footage I used after that to show like gameplay was Julia, and the first time I used her in anything was actually in Final Fantasy 1. The first time I played the game 4 years ago. She was the white mage. I had white mage, black mage, thief, and knight. And she's been a part of me since, and honestly, Final Fantasy 1 is actually just a pretty solid game, despite, you know, it not being, like, having much of a story. I mean, it's got a story, but it doesn't have much of a story. It's still a really good game because the visuals and the sound design on the PS1 version, absolutely beautiful, and I just absolutely love it. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have any Final Fantasy 1 footage to show you. Not even old footage, because I think I deleted it. So, I'm sorry, but you're kind of going to have to go without. I apologize, but that brings me to number 1. Number 1, you probably guessed this was coming. Number 1 is Freedom Planet. Freedom Planet is my number 1 favorite game of all time now. And if you watched my playthrough of it, you'll understand why. Like, sure, I got mad a good amount of times, but other than those times, I absolutely fucking loved the game. The level designs were great, for the most part. The characters are amazing. They had voice acting, so I didn't have to, like, read everything. So I didn't have to read anything. The characters had actual voice acting, which was good. The music is fantastic. And, honestly, the game was really incredible. And it's actually the game that got me back into speedrunning, so yeah, like, Freedom Planet is my number 1 favorite game of all time. Play it if you haven't, it's really good. And with that said, those are my top 10 favorite games of all time, as of right now. Let me know what you thought of my list, or altogether, or a certain game on the list. Or, in fact, let me know what your favorite games of all time are. I'd be interested to hear what you all have to say. But, yeah. Thanks for watching. And see ya in Slide 3. Hey, little buddy. How's it going? Is that my boy? Boy. Oh, Grandma's cleaning them. She says, hold on. Oh, by the way, Mom, while working on this video, I saw a video I uploaded almost 3 years ago of Baby Libby. Like,
I'm gonna have something coming in a couple days. I'll let you know, like, when it gets close to here. It needs a signature for delivery.
Okay.
So someone has to sign for it.
Yeah, I'll stay up here then. Hi, buddy.
I'll let you know when. It's not gonna be for like between.
Boy. Oh, Grandma's gonna clean them again. Oh no. Hey, buddy. How's it going? This is my little man. He's big boy now. Aren't you, buddy?